Hi, everybody. Marty Rubin here from the Argyle Theater, and we are with James Penca for another segment of Marty's Corner. So welcome, James.
Thank you very much for having me.
We are very excited to have you here. James is killing it every night as Johnny Cash, and the crowds have been great. We love having you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, beautiful stage, beautiful theater. The show's great. Can't really ask for much more than that.
Let me ask you, I'm a sports fan, as everybody knows, and when we were kids, we would imitate ball players in their batting stances. So like Joe Morgan back in the day, he would get up and he'd flap his arms, okay? Or Willie Stargell, he'd be going like this, whirling the bat. You have absolutely nailed the mannerisms of Johnny Cash.
The Johnny Cash batting
and
stance.
right, the Johnny Cash batting stance, exactly.
Yeah.
But not the mannerisms and the voice. Did you study old concerts? How did this happen?
So I tell people all the time, I've been doing theater for a decade now, and this was the hardest I've ever worked on a role. Just because people expect a certain amount of authenticity. And so this is the second time I've done it. The first time I played Johnny, I was focused more on the voice and the way he says things, the way he sings things and whatnot. This run of the show, I decided to focus on the batting stance of sorts, you know.
With the guitar?
Yeah, the guitar. The way, I watched particularly the videos of him playing at the different prisons when he did that prison tour,
right.
Folsom Prison and San Quentin and stuff, because in those videos he's very animated because he's really feeding off the prisoners in the crowd, and that's kind of the vibe that would be here, like you're drinking with your buddies, like fooling around, and so capturing Johnny fooling around is important, and so I watched those videos quite a lot. And you know, the guitar the strap is a lot smaller, so the guitar sits up really high, which is an old-fashioned thing. I mean, all the Beatles were playing up here, you know, now guitars are much lower, but then you just tilt the guitar down, and that's half the battle, you know. And then, you know, lifting it up, of course, that's a big thing, but a big one is the way that he strums the guitar.
Yes, and you got that down unbelievably.
Yeah, that was the hardest part.
Your voice, I mean, you're really able to hit the low note.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the quality of that low note is immense.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
tough.
is that easy for you?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm a baritone. I always have been. I don't really sing really high, so this is where I'm more comfortable. But we actually had to raise up the key of one of the songs because Johnny's voice is just so much lower than mine even. So you'll never notice when you see the show, but yeah, his last because you're mine, like it's really low, but like that, you know. So we bumped it up a little bit. So I'm just singing like because you're mine, you know. That's a lot better. It sounds better, and you would never notice. But yeah, it's where I'm more comfortable, and in Broadway. Modern Broadway musicals, it's hard to come by roles written for a voice like mine, lower roles.
Well, you really hit it.
It's fun to do.
You hit it beautifully. You mentioned Folsom, you know, Prison Blues and Walk the Line. When you're playing those songs, you got the crowd with you.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd is rocking. They're really with you. Do you almost feel like you're sailing above yourself watching that performance?
Yeah, it depends on the night. There are it's really wild with these songs, particularly Folsom Prison and the song I sing at the very end of the show. So they're just there's so much energy in them, and you know he's really rocking, and that music I always loved, even as a kid. That is just like, how do you not feel like blood rush? You know, it's really something. So there are times where, you know, we're getting applause mid-song, which is very rare, especially in musicals, you know. Very rare that people will just applaud. I mean, on opening night, we got applause when the song started. And that's like,
well, listen,
what's better than that?
When you say, like in a movie, Jerry Maguire, you know, when Renee Zellweger says to Tom Cruise, "You had me at hello."
Right.
Well, when you say, "Hi, I'm Johnny Cash,"
Right.
you had me and everybody else.
Yeah.
at that line. You know what's coming.
Yeah, it's very unique to play somebody so iconic and to say things like, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash," and there's some other lines throughout the show that are famous lines that everyone knows that Johnny said that and whatnot.
Right.
And it's fun to say those because even like there's one at the beginning of the show. I don't want to ruin it, but there's one at the beginning of the show, and once per night I hear one person in the audience whisper to somebody else like, "Oh, Johnny really said that once in an interview. He said that." You know, so it's very cool to have a line like "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash" that just gets applause.
Oh, yeah, so am I.
That's so rare in musicals to have a line that just gets applause just because it's such an iconic phrase.
People that are coming to this show to see $1 Million Quartet at the Argyle Theater, what do you think that they would be surprised about?
That we are playing every single minute of the show. There's no recorded part of the show, and I've done like I said, I've done a production of this before, and before the show, the audience was told over the speaker, you know, like turn off your cell phones, blah blah blah. But everything you're about to hear is real. This is not recorded at all. Right. And without fail, outside the theater, I would hear people say, "Oh, that was recorded," because it truly we are so in sync with each other. We're so good at what we're doing. It feels like there's no way that guy is doing Johnny Cash's singing voice, his speaking voice, the way he holds the guitar, and accurately playing the guitar. Yes. It takes a lot of ability for all of us, particularly Jerry Lee and Carl. Me and Elvis have it a little easier because it's guitar's a touch easier than what they're doing. But we are really doing all of what you see, and it just adds a whole layer to just you're enjoying the show, but you just have to remind yourself every couple minutes, like, man, it's a live concert that you're watching.
Well, it's just been great. We love it. James, you've been unbelievable out there. He is worth the price of admission, just for what he does with Johnny Cash. Everybody, we're going to be playing till Sunday, June 23rd. $1 Million Quartet. Come down and see James as Johnny Cash and all the unbelievable icons from that night in 1956. We can't wait to see you out there. Thanks very much.
Thank you.